Chosen ones, if this message has reached you today, it's no mere coincidence. God Himself has orchestrated this sacred moment, calling you to step into a divine season where your finances expand beyond your wildest dreams. This isn't just a video or a fleeting word. It's a holy proclamation, a heavenly decree with your name written in the treasury of God's glory. The King of Kings is speaking directly to your spirit, urging you to embrace the supernatural increase He has prepared for you. Don't scroll past. Don't let doubt or limitation dim this divine encounter. God is offering you a covenant of abundance, a promise of financial expansion that will transform your life from scarcity to overflow and lead you into a future of hope and purpose. This is your divine now, your moment to say yes to the wealth Jesus secured for you. Hesitate, and you risk staying bound by the limits the enemy tried to impose. Delay, and you may miss the expansion God has already released. The heavens are open, the Spirit is pouring out favor, and this window of divine increase won't linger. God is declaring, I've chosen you for abundance. Your finances are expanding, but you must claim it now. Pause, breathe, and let this truth ignite your faith. God's wealth is multiplying in your life today if you step into His provision. You've carried the burden of financial limitation for too long, the weight of barely enough, the strain of stretched resources, the quiet fear that abundance is out of reach. You've wondered if God sees your financial struggles, if your faith can unlock His promises, if your life can ever reflect the overflow of His glory. God sees every anxious moment you've faced, every prayer you've whispered over your bank account, every time you felt trapped by lack. He's not ignoring your need. He's preparing your increase. Heaven has issued a divine mandate with your name on it. Your season of limitation is over. This isn't just a promise. It's a covenant, sealed by the blood of Jesus and signed with the favor of God. You're not begging for provision. You're stepping into divine expansion. The chains of scarcity, financial, emotional, and spiritual, are breaking now. God doesn't just meet your needs. He multiplies your resources. What once felt like a ceiling of lack is now becoming a testimony of divine overflow. Every bill that stressed you, every dream held back by finances, every moment you felt stuck, God is rewriting your story with His limitless abundance. Let's be honest. You've faced days where lack seemed to define your future. You've counted pennies, postponed dreams, and wondered if God's promises of prosperity were meant for you. You've worked hard, prayed harder, and questioned if your breakthrough would ever come. But here's the divine truth God is unveiling. Limitation is not your destiny. It's a lie the enemy tried to plant in your life. The world calls scarcity your reality. God calls it a setup for His increase. Your financial struggles weren't meant to hold you back. They were meant to position you for His multiplication. Every empty account, every deferred hope, every time you felt confined, it wasn't the end. It was a divine preparation for abundance. God says, "You've trusted me in little, so I'm entrusting you with much." A flood of provision, favor, and supernatural increase is surging through you. This isn't just about getting by. It's about expanding your finances, your faith, your purpose multiplied by God's power. God is repositioning you from lack to legacy, from limitation to limitless. Your story is no longer one of scarcity. It's a divine narrative of expansion. You've endured seasons where financial lack cast a long shadow. You've battled worries about tomorrow, wrestled with dreams that seemed too big, and felt the pressure of a world that measures worth by wealth. But hear this, That season of constraint is over. Scarcity is not your portion. Restriction is not your story. God has shattered the enemy's grip on your finances and issued a divine decree of multiplication. When God blesses, He doesn't trickle, He pours out. The curse of lack is broken over you and your bloodline. The financial struggles that marked your past, your family, your history, they end with you. This isn't just about your wallet. It's about your legacy. Abundance is your birthright. God's favor is your inheritance. You're not a prisoner of limitation. You're an heir to heaven's wealth. Barriers that blocked your prosperity are crumbling. Doors to divine increase are opening by His might. You're moving from just enough to more than enough, from struggle to surplus. Your new normal is expansion, Jesus' relentless, unending provision. What if your life became a living testimony of God's multiplying power? Get ready, because your story is about to shine with His glory. Divine abundance is being poured over you. Resources you didn't earn, opportunities you didn't expect, favor that defies your circumstances. Not because you worked harder, but because Jesus paid it all. Your faith has opened a portal. Heaven is flooding you with increase. Your life will no longer be defined by limitation. It will overflow with God's riches. Your prosperity isn't just personal. It's a beacon for God's kingdom. Your testimony will preach louder than words, proclaiming, "This is what happens when God expands His chosen." Prepare for moments that don't make sense, provision arriving unexpectedly, doors opening without effort, blessings flowing in impossible situations. God is saying, "I see you, I provide for you, I multiply you." This isn't just provision, it's multiplication. Every need that pressed you, every dream delayed by lack, every moment you felt confined, God is redeeming it with His wealth. He's not just filling your hands, He's expanding your horizons. The enemy's plans to limit you are flipping into divine abundance. Your scarcity is becoming surplus, your lack is becoming legacy, and your struggles are setting you up for a wealth-filled comeback. For too long, you've lived under the shadow of financial lack, silenced by worry, weighed down by bills, overlooked in your struggle. You've prayed through anxious nights, carried financial burdens alone, wondered if God's provision could reach your reality. God says your season of limitation is over. He's lifting you from the pit of scarcity into the glory of His abundance, not to boast, but to bless. He held you in lack to prepare you, to deepen your faith so your prosperity would last. Every prayer you prayed over finances is rising as a testimony of divine increase. You're not just surviving, you're thriving. The enemy's lies about your future aren't just fading, they're fleeing. Your name is being declared in heavens you haven't seen. Provision is flowing, favor is rising, and divine wealth is manifesting. This isn't just relief, it's divine expansion. The world will see your abundance as a testimony to the God who multiplies His chosen. You're going from confined to limitless, from lacking to overflowing. The cross is your foundation, and heaven is your source. And God is able to bless you abundantly, so that in all things at all times, having all that you need, you will abound in every good work. 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 8. This verse seals the truth of your expansion. God is able to bless you abundantly, ensuring you have more than enough to thrive and bless others. Trust in Him and watch His provision multiply in your life. This covenant of abundance isn't just about provision, it's about purpose. God isn't just increasing your finances, He's expanding your calling. Multiplication is your promise. Legacy is your portion. You've struggled with lack long enough, watched others prosper while you made do. God is rewriting your story. Your name is being etched on promises, purposes, and divine blessings. Prosperity miracles are coming. God's wealth is part of your covenant. You're not just getting by. You're growing into a new dimension of favor. Your children's children will inherit the abundance you're claiming now. This isn't just about you. It's about your bloodline. God didn't bring you this far to stay limited. He brought you to expand. Provision, favor, and limitless wealth are yours. Claim them now. You're not rising alone. Heaven has assigned supernatural favor to your journey. Angels are opening doors, dismantling barriers, and paving paths to abundance. These aren't ordinary moments. They're divine multiplications. Expect unusual provision, resources that defy logic, moments where you feel, I don't know why, but I'm blessed. That's not chance. It's divine increase. Your faith, your heart, your purpose, they're backed by heaven's riches. You're not alone in your lack or your breakthrough. God has sent His Spirit to multiply your resources. Your prayers, once heavy with worry, are now soaring with hope. The limitation you thought was permanent, God says it's already broken. You're not meant to live in scarcity. You're meant to live in surplus. Heaven has approved your expansion with unlimited favor. Opportunities are rising, provision is flowing, and miracles of wealth are manifesting. You're not chasing riches. God's riches are chasing you. Gone are the days of financial constraint. God's provision doesn't demand struggle. It delivers abundance. You're entering a season where your faith carries supernatural increase. What once felt impossible will happen in moments with God's power. What seemed like endless lack will now feel like endless overflow. You're shifting from barely enough to more than enough, from survival to surplus. People will marvel at how fast it happened, how your life radiated with provision, but you'll know the truth. God multiplied you. Your faith opened the door. Heaven released the riches. You're on heaven's prosperity list now, and God doesn't provide in halves. Your name is at the top of His divine roster. Every time you trusted through lack, every moment you prayed through limitation, God recorded it. He's sending wealth, not just to meet your needs, but to multiply your impact. You'll bless others, sow generosity into lives, and shine as a beacon of God's kingdom. You're not waiting for abundance. You are the abundance God sends. Those moments of financial strain, those dreams deferred by lack, those times you felt trapped, they weren't your destiny. They were your preparation for glory. God was saying, not that limitation, my wealth awaits. Every struggle was leading you to His provision. The lack you faced was too weak for His favor. The voices that doubted you couldn't withstand His truth. Now, brace for the abundance that buries every limitation. Divine increase is coming, resources that defy reason, favor you didn't earn, wealth you didn't expect. Not by your works, but by God's promise. You're entering a life custom built for His glory. The lack wasn't wasted. It was sacred. God was preparing you for this moment. Scarcity used to feel like your home. Limitation was your script, and lack was your reality. That contract is void. Heaven has torn it up. You're no longer chained to financial struggle. You're released into God's abundance. Your identity isn't lack. It's legacy. You're not a beggar. You're an heir in Christ. Your life is becoming a river of provision, a flood of favor on barren ground. You've prayed through seasons of want, unseen, unheard, confined. but God was there, building your faith for a glorious unveiling. Your limitation is done. Your expansion is here. Your testimonies aren't distant. They're your daily truth. People will ask, "How did you prosper?" You'll say, "God's wealth expanded me." Don't be shocked when strangers see your blessing, when hearts are drawn to your generosity, when lives are changed by your testimony. God is amplifying your story for impact, not pride. This is your expansion season. Every prayer, every act of faith, God saw it. Trusting didn't weaken you. It positioned you. You're in a cycle of endless favor. Every cry for provision, every moment of hope, God's returning it with abundance. You'll prosper where you stood, even where others doubted. The world preaches limitation. Heaven delivers expansion. What you faced wasn't lost. It was redeemed. Now, provision, purpose, and divine riches flow. Keep believing. The more you trust, the more God multiplies. This season carries divine favor. You're not just praying. You're prospering. Heaven's downloading resources, opportunities, world-changing abundance. You'll wake with hope, dream of legacy, see clarity that transforms lives. God's not just giving wealth. He's making you a vessel of His provision. Your prosperity will matter. Your testimony will save souls. You're not scraping. You're soaring. Shift from lack to legacy. The kingdom needs wealth with purpose, and you're equipped to lead. Everything's aligning now. You've prayed, fasted, trusted through want. But the wealth isn't external. It's rising within you. God's shifting your heart from limitation to limitless. You carry provision, favor, glory. The lack wasn't defeat. It was preparation. Every struggle sharpened your faith. Every need drew you to His promise. You're not waiting for wealth. You're the wealth others see. The enemy fought to confine you because he saw this coming. Too late, you're expanding. Drop, "I don't have enough." Declare, "I am God's abundance." Lives change when you give. Hearts heal when you prosper. You're heaven's vessel on earth. You didn't miss your moment. Every empty day was a lesson. God held you in lack, not to punish, but to prepare. While you struggled, He built your faith. While you waited, He honed your heart. While others doubted, He positioned your blessing. Now you're ready to carry this abundance's weight. You're not chasing provision. You're walking in favor. Your next step's not ordinary, it's prophetic. This isn't survival. It's divine expansion. Right now, I invite you to seal this covenant. If this word stirs your spirit, take 3 urgent actions today. First, hit the like button to declare your faith in God's provision. Second, subscribe to lock in your commitment to this journey. Third, drop the number 33 in the comments. A sacred signal to heaven that you're saying yes to God's expansion. God is watching. Your abundance is here. Will you rise? Will you claim it? Let's step into this prosperity together. Your expansion begins now.